going on, people? How are we all doing? Sammy United People's TV. It's Wednesday, the 6th of September. We've still got, what, 10 days to the game against Brighton? It's the international break. There's going to be a dip, and it's not been the most positive start to the week. And I'll be honest, the main story of the show today is not exactly one that's filled with anything good. Really, we're going to be speaking about the massive share price drop that happened on the New York Stock Exchange yesterday. A record drop for Manchester United shares after the market reacted to stories of the Glazers staying at the club. I'm going to run through everything. All right. I'm not just going to look at the headline. I'm going to run through the stories and we're going to speak about it all. All right. We're going to be speaking about Amrabat. Yes, he got unveiled yesterday with the number 4 shirt. New number. There's something nice about a defensive midfielder wearing number 4. Call me a traditionalist. Going to be speaking about Antony and the ongoing situation there and the pressure that's now come to Manchester United. We have a little conversation about Jadon Sancho, about injury boosts. And hey, you can let me know what else you want me to speak about. You let me know in the comments, right? Who's down here from the member gang? Let's have a look. Paula, good morning to you. Ryan, you got Espoir. That's a cool name. Miles, Saeed. We've got Stu. How you doing there? Hybrid Hunter, Matt Bird, Aditya. We've got Lawanda, Nathan. We've got Kieran. We've got Omar, John, Anuj. I can see you there. Josh, you're there as well. And Anthony. We've got Jack, Monkton, Paddy, Ash. Honestly, you think I made these up? They're not. They're all different members. Big up to all of you. Who's on Facebook? Martin, Holling, Ian Cartwright. Good morning to you. Chris Wynn, Wayne Stephen, Rashid Peters. We've got Enoch. We've got Daniel Ford. Good morning, everybody. Right? Let's enjoy the show. You can let me know throughout. You can fire in your comments if you want to. You can fire in a super chat, or you can just drop a like on the video. Do whatever you want to support the community. Let's start off with some positive news, eh? Yeah. We got the pictures yesterday. We got the first words from Amrabat in terms of him speaking about him moving to Manchester United. I'll pull those up in a minute. But Erik ten Hag was beaming, wasn't he? Erik ten Hag has got his man. I'll be honest, this transfer, this should have been done like 6 weeks ago. We really should have had Amrabat in for the first game of the season. And I genuinely feel that the first few games of this season would have been impacted in a positive way by the presence of Amrabat. Our midfield would have been significantly more balanced. But Ten Hag wanted to try with the Mount and the Bruno situation. I don't think he got that right. I think he underestimated the space that would be between those two and Casemiro. But Amrabat is here, and Amrabat is wearing the number 4 shirt, which of course has been left vacant. Well, was left vacant by Phil Jones, who's actually been he hasn't been coaching with the under-18s, but Phil Jones is back at the club, sort of observing some of the under-18s training. So maybe Phil Jones is going to go into coaching, which wouldn't surprise me, man. I'd love for him to go and do something that he's good at and that he can actually, doesn't rely on his own fitness as well, which is probably that. Samuel, love to see you there joining as a member, dude. Let me know where you're watching from. What a wonderful name. You already get 10 points from me for that. But what do you think? Amrabat number 4, does it suit him? I think it suits him. And look, Ten Hag, look at these photos here. Ten Hag, he is buzzing to get him. He is so, and so am I. I really am, man. You shouldn't have to get that excited about defensive midfielders, right? But or maybe you should. Or just when you're kind of starved of them, you kind of have to be. And we spoke about this yesterday. I said the two positions in world football right now that have the absolute premium price on them are, in my opinion, defensive midfielder and centre forward. They are the two. I don't know. There seems to be a dearth of like top quality talent in those areas. So when players like Moises Caicedo or Enzo Fernandez or Romeo Lavia, even for 60 bloody mil, however much that was. Who was the other expensive? Declan Rice, of course. They're very expensive. Very expensive. But Amrabat, at the prices we got him at, I'm delighted. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to give you some seriously good news about Amrabat in a second as well. But first, I can see the main man down here, Antony, you just gifted 5 memberships. Who are the lucky 5? Let me read them out. Dos Santos. We've got Mark Davies. We've got Ola. We've got Imole. And we've got Toby. You are the lucky 5. Thank you very much, Antony. Whip out the gong. Jeez. Carl, you're saying it's not... I think when we signed Casemiro, we all thought, boy, we've gone from not having a defensive midfielder to having one of the best defensive midfielders in the world. Which, if you looked at how Casemiro played at Real Madrid, was exactly what we signed. However, if you look at Casemiro at Manchester United, he's ended up being more of like a box-to-box midfielder. Not as in like running up and down the pitch, but he's getting forward a lot. He's scoring quite a lot of goals. He's offering a lot of threat on the edge of the box. He's not the same Casemiro in terms of position and discipline as he was at Real Madrid. At Real Madrid, he just played behind Modric and Kroos, and he just did all the dirty work. Did it all. Did it perfectly. Was the best in the world at it, and then just fed the ball off to Modric and Kroos. It's kind of been slightly different at United. But with Amrabat, I think what you'll probably see now from Casemiro is him operating more like a Toni Kroos type player than a Casemiro type player. And by that, I mean that I think you're going to see Amrabat being the deeper line playmaker, the person receiving the ball from the two defenders. And Casemiro will be who he passes to. And he'll be the one that kind of brings it forward a bit. It will give Casemiro the opportunity to get involved far more in the attack without leaving space in behind. But yeah, defensive midfielder. And you want to know some seriously good news this morning? How about this? Right? How about that for an injury boost? I actually forgot about this one. So it's actually 4 injury boosts we've got today to speak about. Come with a sweet positive news. You know, all the rumours that circulated, it was The Athletic that reported that Manchester United had spotted a minor back injury in Amrabat's medical. And that's all they said. They didn't put it out there and saying, oh, you know, it's terrible. But it was taken and everybody sort of ran with it. And look, he's going to be on international duty with Morocco. Amrabat will be fine. And you know what I thought about the other day? I don't know why no one's really speaking about it. Like we're speaking about the fact that we're going to be missing Andre Onana due to the African Cup of Nations if Cameroon beat Burundi and he decides to go, which it looks like he is. He's already said he's come out of international retirement. We're, of course, going to be missing Amrabat as well, who's going to be going there with Morocco. So for the fixtures in January were actually quite kind compared to what they could have been. But yeah, of course, we'll be missing Amrabat too. But look, the great news is that Amrabat, he's signed, he's in, he's got number 4, and he should be fit to face Brighton. There's no reason why he won't be fit to face Brighton. And for me, you know, famous last words if we end up drawing or losing against Brighton. But for me, the season kind of starts with Brighton. We've navigated a couple of these early games, right? We've navigated a couple of them. Just about managed to get past Wolves and just about managed to get past Nottingham Forest. The 2 away games against the top 6 teams, we came unstuck. Spurs got overrun in the second half. Arsenal, fine margins, man. Fine margins. Went there with the game plan that worked. Fine margins, and we just that offside. Damn. So we lost both of them. I think our season can really kickstart from Brighton. I think we faced Brighton. We faced Bayern Munich, I think. And then, is it then like a back-to-back against Crystal Palace? I think it is. But we've got Amrabat in. We're going to have Højlund in. Things are going to be different. I'm looking forward to it. I really am looking forward to it. But of course, you can see what the headline for today's show is. Let me get this up. She knows these days. Actually, no, look. Let's actually read through what Amrabat said. This was his message to United fans after completing the move. He said, "Honoured and so proud to join this huge club full of history and passion. It's a dream to represent the shirt, and I will give absolutely everything to defend this badge. I can't wait to step foot on the pitch at Theatre of Dreams, my new home. Thank you to all the fans for your warm welcome. Let's make this a season to remember." Now, dude, he really wanted that United move, didn't he? I don't remember there being another transfer that we've been involved with the players. He's done everything. He's not gone on strike, but he's told his club, he said, "Look, I want to join. I want to join Manchester United. There's nothing else I want. Forest, Fulham, anybody, that doesn't matter. I only want United." He got his move. I'm looking forward to seeing him in the United shirt, man. There's a comment there. Tell us the bad news, bro. Man, this is a bad news channel. This is what I would do now. So if there's any parents watching and your kids are listening, can you cover their eyes, because I'm about to put something horrendous on screen. I gave you a warning, all right? I gave you a warning. Yes, I know. It's just like 2 mole rats that have just come out of hibernation or something like that. How can he be so pale and live in Florida? Surely, I don't know. They're too busy in their dungeons and their lairs. Let's speak about what happened yesterday. Right. I don't need to tell you what's gone on with the takeover. You already know, like you're already exhausted by it all. And it was this story here that emerged over the weekend from the Daily Mail that has caused a storm. We've seen this throughout this whole process. I think there's been 3 or 4 occasions where something as substantial as this has happened, but this is a record. It happened once when the news of a Qatari full interest came from Mike Keegan and the share price surged, and then it corrected itself. And then it happened again after they put in a 5th bid, and it surged again, and then it corrected itself. I think it's dropped once before for fear of the Glazers staying, but this one here is the biggest. Record drop in one day. Over 500 million wiped off the value of Manchester United in the space of one trading day on the New York Stock Exchange. I'll explain what the story is. Right. So this came out on the weekend. Manchester United will be taken off the market by the Glazer family because they're holding out for 10 billion. It's just like that. They're just plucking numbers out of the air, the Daily Mail, I'm presuming at this point. Because they're not holding out for 10 billion. And then you can see what happened on the share price here, right? So we can go here and we can look at the last 5 days and you can see the vertical drop. You can see what happened yesterday. Nearly 20% of the value of Manchester United wiped off. Absolutely wiped off. And we know exactly why it's wiped off. It is wiped off because everybody now in the market is reacting to the concept that the Glazers might stay. Now, what I will say here, and I can say this with absolute confidence, we can go down here. Completely and utterly wrong. The Glazers are selling. The Glazers have always been selling. This is Mike Keegan saying that they've not been taken off the market. It's just that the Glazers, we know and we knew that the Glazers are greedy, right? I don't think any of us comprehended just how fundamentally greedy they truly are, because they are selling the club. I don't want to repeat myself. The finances of our club are screwed. We are screwed. You've seen it this summer. It's only it will not change until we have new owners. The Glazers are selling. But we've just underestimated as a fan base just how willing they are to just wait it out until somebody gives them the price that they want. Not what something is worth, just the price that they want. That's what's happened. Now, look, you've got Mike Keegan here, who we know what Mike Keegan's been doing throughout this whole process. He's got his sources close to the Qataris, and presumably by now he's going to have his sources close to the Jim Ratcliffe camp too. Neither of them have been. Look, I'll go through and read exactly what he said. While Manchester United's share price suffered a record drop, sources close to the 2 bidders in the takeover race on Tuesday night disclosed that they had not been informed that the sale was off. And that pretty much is exactly what's happened here. No one's been informed of anything. No one's stepped out and said, oh, this is still happening. The Rain Group. No, they're just letting it. In silence, they sit in the background and they lurk like shadows. They are 100% selling the club. I think I underestimated just how deep their greed could go. That's what I personally underestimated this summer. I'm not worried that they're not going to sell. I'm still not worried they're not going to sell. However, what I realize now is that I think the Glazers are prepared to wait it out. The way that everything has gone this summer, the way that everything has happened, we can pretty much categorically say that Jim Ratcliffe and Sheikh Jassim, they're not going to raise their bid anymore, right? They're not going to raise their bid anymore, not at this moment in time. So therefore, the Glazers aren't going to accept at this time. And this is, if you're the greedy, and this is, I'm putting myself in their dirty minds just for 30 seconds to try and, what's their justification for doing this? Next season is the new format of the Champions League. right? There's going to be more games, more TV revenue, more money for all clubs involved. I can't believe they're ruining the Champions League. It's such a perfect format. The group stage, and you do have trepidation in the group stage. Sometimes you get into the last game and you need to win. It's already a knockout game, and the knockouts aren't changing, but they're getting rid of the group stage. Anyway, the only reason they're doing it is because they can make more money. So the Glazers are thinking, okay, there's more money there. The Glazers are thinking, okay, well, you never know. Ten Hag's in the Champions League this year. The revenue's going to go up. They're thinking that somehow that the value of Manchester United by next summer is going to warrant 6 billion, despite the fact that Manchester United's business is in decline. Our revenues might be good, but as a business overall, we're in decline. I don't need to explain those numbers to you again. We need the infrastructure investment. That doesn't change. Nothing's going to increase the value of Manchester United. It's a bit weird. I can't understand where they think this extra, let's call it $500 million to $1 billion in value in their minds, where that comes from. Because extra Champions League football isn't enough for that. Man United doing well in the Premier League, unless we win it, which is not going to happen, right? So that's not really going to move the needle that much. Winning the Champions League, I mean, it's a very unlikely. That might move the needle, but that's the thing that I've underestimated this summer. I do not have any fear that the Glazers are selling. I don't know what percentage, of course. I don't have any fear of that. I don't think they cannot, and I will reiterate again and again and again, they cannot. Their business model has reached a brick wall. If the Glazers stay now, Manchester United will just fade into the background, disappear as a club, and the Glazers will lose 5 billion, which they will not do. I'm going to go down there and see what you're saying in the comments. Yeah, Jonathan, you're asking why the share price has fallen so much. It's because the fact that the share price has fallen so much off the back of one article in the Daily Mail goes to show you how volatile this whole situation is. Goes to show you the lack of actual clear information that anybody has. The fact that one article in the Daily Mail can cause that much of a ripple effect. No one knows anything. No business journalist, no sports journalist. And it's not because the journalists are bad. There's been a lot of really decent journalists involved in this whole process the entire way through. It's because the source of the information are the Glazers. And they work with smoke and mirrors and miscommunication and no communication. It is exactly what you would expect from the Glazers. It is the most Glazers takeover that there could ever possibly be. And you wonder why we hate them so much. Lewis is saying the share price is the best news we've received recently. I don't know how you see that. The only reason the share price goes down is if the market thinks that Sheikh Jassim and Jim Ratcliffe aren't going to be taken over. When that number there reaches $30, it's pretty much game, set, and match. The market will reflect pretty much what's going on. This is as close as we're going to get to actual information, is the share price. That's why I follow it, and I think it's quite, look, you can see down there, look at that. The 65-day average, no, that's the volume. 52-week range, you can see how it's way at, man, it peaked at 27. Look, let's follow this. What is it now? It's been nearly a year, right? We can see what the price has done. No, that's not the year. That's the year to date. Give me 1 year. There you go. You can follow it here. This is back when it started, back in November. Let me zoom in on this for you. I was going to cover this in a lunchtime video today, but I feel like I'm telling you it all now. Might have to do something else. Jeez. You can see here what happened when the news of strategic investment alternatives came along, and boom. Boom. Everyone's like, yes, the Glazers are going to leave. And the share price went from $13 to $21, $22, $23. And then it's gone up and down. We've got peaks and we've got troughs. We've got peaks and we've got dips. We've got peaks and a massive dip. And that's the lowest it's been now since, where's this? Was that now? That's today, isn't it? Oh, no. I'm getting my dates wrong. Is that June? 7th of June. So that must have been when there were fears that we're going to stay. Ah, Jesus. I hate them. I hate them. Let me see what you're saying down here. Is it now not the time that rules regarding owners can and can't get clear on the side of supporters? Well, Greg, they've been talking about this for a long time, about legislation, independent boards, X, Y, Z, but it's the ship has well and truly sailed for Manchester United. There's not going to be anything that can be brought in that can change the damage that they have done. We just have to hope that past this point, that the owners we get in, that it's not anywhere near as bad. I think there was a couple of super chats there. I don't want to miss these out. Jordan, you're saying if the Glazers are smart now, they'd sell because of the share drop. Why would they do that? Because they've now lost 500 million. So there's even less. Oh, you mean that they should accept the bid now because it's less? Okay, I get what you mean. Well, they're not. The Glazers have proven, mate, you could probably scream in their face and spit at them and they still wouldn't care. They have the thickest of skins. They do not care what anybody thinks, no matter how much evidence there is against them. They're almost like impenetrable to it. They just don't have that sort of human emotion that gets affected by it. It's like they're cyborgs. They really just aren't affected by public opinion, no matter how true it is. Rudy is saying you got to respect. I know that respecting their thick skin, but they have the thickest of skins. It's insane. Showtime twin, how you doing? Say morning, Big Sam. The Fat Forest spent more money on deadline day than us. Shows the club's decline. Well, I don't think it was just that shows the club's decline. There are a million other different things that show that club's decline as well. Mania, how you doing, buddy? Saying everyone knows the club won't reach 10 billion without huge investments that the Glazers won't put in. It's the state of our finance, infrastructure, and revenue. We can eat, and I think I've said this before. I don't think it's outside the realms of possibility for Manchester United to be a 10 billion pound club. But that is at the end of, say we got new owners tomorrow, and say we then started a 5-year regeneration project that would probably cost in the region of 1.5 to 2 billion. I think you're going to be putting on probably somewhere in the region of double that onto the value of the club. And therefore, Manchester United looking far more towards the 8 billion plus. But it's going to take billions to get there. The Glazers want the end goal without the money. Because it's going to be... You're telling me my house can be worth 300 grand more if I build a three-room extension on the back of it? Well, I'm just going to sell it to you that price then. What do you mean? You haven't built the extension. I don't care. But you need to, but no, I don't care. Just give me how much it could be worth. That's what the Glazers are doing here. Damn, what's my HG nose? I haven't even got hay fever. Sorry, let me mute this mic and go for a sniff. That's better. Jeez. Have to spend money to make money. Indeed, Josh. But that's try telling the Glazers that. Ultimately, that's the update. That's the situation. The situation here. The Glazers, by the looks of things, are willing to just ride this out stubbornly until somebody puts in a bigger bid. I don't know. What else do you think could actually be done here from a fan perspective? Like, what is the next move? I'm quite unsure at this point. I'll be honest. Jadon is saying the only way to stop them is from a financial perspective. That's the only language they understand is money. They don't speak to each other. They just throw notes at each other. When they get angry, they throw coins at each other. When they get really angry, they snap each other's cards. They're not humans. They don't speak language. Just speak in different currencies. What are you saying down in the comments? Sam, what's with the Northern Ireland accent? Hey, look, my whole family above me is from Northern Ireland. So I used to go there all the time as a kid. I haven't been there in a while, actually. So, yeah, that's why it always slips in. Good spot, though. Revolution, stop the money train. Can't FIFA get involved? Well, nothing's going to happen there. I'd love that to happen, Alex. I'd love that to happen. But this, I mean, I don't know how you organise it. It's hard enough to organise a protest at Old Trafford, let alone organise a protest not on a match day. Well, match day's got nothing to do with it, but doing it in Florida. Talking about losing the money, get as many home games postponed as possible, and that was it's unfortunately a one-time thing. The security is too much now on match days for that to ever happen again. And did that have an impact? Well, it did. It gave us more power and more voice, but they are still there. So you could say it didn't have too much of an impact. Unfortunately, I'm going to give it another minute or so, read more of your comments, and I'm going to move on to the next talking point, which unfortunately is not any better. They could be attempting to lower the price to buy more share. Of course, they could be shorting. Shorting is when you bet on the price of a stock going down and you make money out of it. Imagine that comes out after all of this, right? It would be peak Glazers. If after all of this, in a few years' time, the Glazers got exposed for shorting Manchester United stocks and then go to prison. Oh, that'd be good. That'd be good. Probably won't happen. Anyway, in a non-laughing matter, unfortunately, it is mad the amount of negative news coming out of Manchester United over these last, well, I don't know how many weeks now. It's crazy. But of course, there's everything that's going on with the Antony situation. Now, this Antony situation, I've done my video on it properly. And I've asked you, and I'll ask you again and again, please don't just understand this is an open investigation. We can comment on it overall, but you can't comment on the details about who said what and who did this other than what I've already covered. But Antony. Now, Brazil have suspended Brazil have dropped Antony from the national team, which is effectively suspending him, right? And there is now mounting pressure on Manchester United to do the same. And man, the allegations against Antony are very, very serious. Very, very serious. I'm going to go down here and block that person on Facebook. You ain't going to come back. See ya. Right. There's huge pressure on Manchester United to... Man United can't just sit in silence now over this Antony situation. They have to do something, right? I don't know what that move's going to be. People are going to be comparing it to the Greenwood situation. And the truth of the matter is this. With the evidence that came out on social media with Mason Greenwood was pretty irrefutable. That's why Manchester United suspended him immediately. Now, Antony's decided to deny all allegations. So from a legal perspective, again, Man United are diving straight back into the legal side of things. Do they have the grounds to legally suspend Antony according to the contract that has been signed? That will be what Manchester United are doing right now. Man United will have their lawyers looking over his contract and finding out exactly. But you would imagine they would know all of that because of everything that's just gone on with Mason Greenwood, because it's kind of a similar situation. I expect United to make a statement on Antony quite soon. I don't know whether they're going to suspend him straight away, because that's just what I think. All right. As I said, right, someone's down there. There's a comment there from Jack Stewart. Dude, someone delete that comment. Anybody who speaks about the actual details of it, I'm telling you, like, you're just going to get you're going to get deleted. You're just going to get kicked off the channel. I'm asking you politely not to do it. And if you're not going to do it, I'm not going to be polite. You're just going to get booted. All right. It's an open investigation. Do not talk about the details. I don't know how many times I've got to say that to you. If you can't listen to me, you will be booted. All right. And no, I don't care if I'm being rude about it. Listen, use your ears. But yeah, I imagine Manchester United will be, well, by the time that Brighton comes around, I imagine we'll probably be, we'll hear a statement. All right. We'll hear a statement. That's kind of all that we can say about it right now. But there's certainly pressure on Manchester United because Brazil have dropped him. All right. So that's the situation there. I nearly slipped into Northern Ireland again. Right. I'm not going to be reading out any of your comments on that. You can all have that conversation yourself. I'm just speaking on facts. It's just speaking about what's happening right now. And that's all we know on this Antony situation at this moment in time. All right. Something that I released yesterday, and I was happy I released it yesterday because, as I said, we could do with some positive news as United fans. I thought it was going to be a really, really tough couple of weeks between the Arsenal game and the Brighton game. But I feel myself feeling quite positive about the football itself. I'm just speaking about the football. When I look off the pitch of Man United, I see problem, chaos, chaos, chaos. When I look at the football team and the football pitch, that video I did yesterday, big up to Steve as well, Steve, for always helping with these videos. By the way, these videos are about to go up a massive, up to a serious level. I've got a brand new touchscreen monitor sitting right there that I've got to learn and get to grips with. I've got to find the right software to use, but I should be able to hopefully bring you live on screen, like Sky Sports tactical breakdowns. That's what I want to do. And that's what I'm planning on doing, but it's going to take me some time. And at this moment in time, like, if I say what I'm doing, I'm working on I'm building a new studio wall. I'm hoping to have that up by the 1st of October. I'm also finally going to be bringing the new software. That's been like 80-90% ready for so long. I'm just finally going through the testing phase because transfer window came along and took over. So those two things are getting done. And the merch is going to get completely redesigned, brand new designs, and hopefully going to be here by the start of October. That's what I'm working on in this September. So we're going to get a brand new look. We're going to get brand new software and hopefully a completely brand new merch shop, new designs, new everything, not just t-shirts and hoodies. I think you'll really like it. So I'm doing all that. And I've also got to learn this new software. So that might take a little bit of time, but I want to have it done by Brighton. But anyway, if you didn't watch that video, I think you'll enjoy it. It's running through the aspects of Højlund's game that I saw that gave me reasons to be positive. Because with him in, I think this United team will look slightly different, right? Oh, look at that. Forgot about that one. Not Amrabat. Garnacho and Højlund have both been nominated for the Golden Boy nomination award. Not nominated for a nomination. They've been nominated for the Golden Boy award, which of course is given to the best youngster in Europe every single year. Congratulations to both of those. Got to give it to Garnacho, don't you? Come on. I'll give it to Garnacho. He's got to be one of the best. Man, he's smooth. He is so smooth. I like this yesterday. This was Rasmus Højlund sort of speaking about that photo there, because I think Casemiro was like, oh man. Casemiro was a little bit like us as fans. He goes, hold on, we've got a centre forward who can actually be a centre forward. Oh yeah, this changes things. This changes things. Because he is. Højlund is a different player altogether to Antony Martial. Antony Martial, let's be honest, he's probably still more of a winger. He's certainly in the 50-50. Certainly the 50-50. David, yeah, actually, thank you for that comment there. And I will say that too. And I will go back one more time. Like, you do not understand media law if you're going to be starting throwing out all the speculation about who did this, who did what, who's guilty, who's innocent. You just don't know what you're talking about. I do a bit more. I've done media law. I'm a nationally I've done an NCTJ course. I've done 90% shorthand. Man, that was such a waste of time doing 90. Shorthand to 90% accuracy was the worst exam of my life. Anyway, I've done all of that. Listen to me. Because if you do that and you start running down in the comments, I could probably be held liable and the channel could be held liable. And I won't allow that. You will just get banned. You will straight up be banned. Your choice. I'm telling you, don't do it, or you're going to get banned. Thank you very much for reiterating that, by the way. Anyway, let's go. Let's finish on some. We got positive, then not positive, then positive. So up and down, up and down. Some positive news, I would say, around Aaron Wan-Bissaka. And I've spoken about this dude so much over these last however many months, right? Nobody at United has proven me wrong more than Aaron Wan-Bissaka. Like on a game-by-game basis now, week by week, he just seems to be improving overall. I think he's probably been our best performer so far this season, which isn't really saying much for our midfield or our attack. But Wan-Bissaka deserves all the praise he's getting. And I would argue he does deserve that too. Now, we've got to get this contract right, all right? I think what United have got to do with the contracts that they're putting out, that you should just be smarter about how you're organizing that contract. Don't just give someone 200 grand a week straight up. Doesn't matter if you turn up once a week. Doesn't matter if you turn up 3 times a week. Doesn't matter if you play well. There's no incentives for these players to match levels and sort of unlock certain parts of their contract. It seems like players, seemingly, are just on a wage, and that is that. It should be like appearance related, performance related, and success related. And your contract goes up or down depending on what that is. I don't know how legally, I don't write contracts, right? But United have got to get it right. So I'm saying that I think Wan-Bissaka does deserve a new contract, but I'm saying that Man United have got to get smarter at at the finer details of these contracts. Because with Harry Maguire, it was a problem. I think with Jadon Sancho, it's going to be a big-ass problem if Eric Ten Hag does indeed decide that he doesn't have a future at the club. And I'll speak about Jadon Sancho next. Don't let it be a problem with Wan-Bissaka. Clive, I want United's contracts to be not necessarily performance-related, but kind of success-related. If Manchester United finish in the... Which I kind of suppose they are. Look, Man United, if we finished outside of the Champions League, there was a 25% wage cut. So technically, that was already part of the overall system. But it still needs refining. I don't think you can do it down on a performance, like week by week basis. But come on, United, get smarter with contracts. Get smarter with contracts. Tyrell saying, what's our max matches in a week this season? I need to buy merch to wear per match. Thank you very much, dude, man. Honestly, the new merch that we're going to be doing, prior to, I'll give you a little teaser. Prior to, in the first merch store, the only things we did were t-shirts, hoodies, and sweatshirts. That's going to change. And they're going to be able to offer you so many sort of different things, slightly cheaper things. You know, some people can afford a t-shirt, and some people can afford a hoodie, but some people can't. And it's going to be cool, man. It's going to be really, really cool. And this is going to be something I'm very, very proud of, because I think a lot of YouTube merch is garbage. Absolute garbage. Not this bad boy, obviously, but a lot of it is garbage. The designs are the sort of designs that you would see like from Clive down the market. Sorry, everybody in the comments called Clive. Just little knockoffs that a kid has drawn up in 10 minutes in Photoshop. No actual thought process, no fashion concepts, no actual properly design. That's what I'm going to try and change a little bit. But anyway, oh God. But we've had positive news, negative news, negative news, a little bit of positive news around Wan-Bissaka. And then we've kind of got to go back to this and have a conversation. Debbie, you saying you got the Red Butcher hoodie and you love it? Big up to you. Thank you so much. I think that's my favorite. This is easily my favorite design still. Jason is saying, send some merch to South Africa. I think we should be able to get that sorted as well. Big up to anyone watching from South Africa. Jadon Sancho. Right. This isn't based in fact. Well, no, this is kind of based in fact. But I just kind of feel that at some point soon we might be getting this is just more of a hunch than anything, right? You got Chris Wheeler from the Daily Mail. Was it yesterday he released this article? Yeah, yesterday. Talking about Jadon Sancho's timekeeping, exasperating his bosses. And I've spoken about this, right? Wayne, you're saying, am I doing discount for membership? Of course I am. That's part of the membership gang. Jadon Sancho's timekeeping. There's been problems with Man City when he was 17. There's been problems with Dortmund. There's been problems with Manchester United. There's been problems with England. That's 3 clubs and 1 country. 4 different coaches. Patterns. All right? Over multiple years with multiple managers, there's patterns. There's evidence. There's a paper trail. All right? But Jadon Sancho said this back in 2020. And I almost get the feeling that we might be finding out more details about this. It might be dysphoria? It feels like maybe we're going to find out a bit more information about a sleep disorder. If that is the case, he has a sleeping problem. This was spoken about back in September 2020. Maybe this is part of it. That when this, you know how we don't know all the information yet, we don't know all the facts yet. That might be part of it. However, it doesn't justify Jadon Sancho going after his manager in public, and it never will. All right, you're not going to change my mind on that. And I saw an article yesterday. I think it was, I can't remember where it was. I can't remember where it was from, but it was attacking, not attacking, but questioning Ten Hag's decision from a mental health perspective, saying, "Oh, look what happened with Dele Alli," and then all of a sudden you're calling out Jadon Sancho. I really don't think that's a good call, and it's sort of like, where's the consistency? And it was kind of attacking Ten Hag from that sense. And I would say, like, mate, dude, you all know that I'm a massive advocate. I've had my mental health struggles. I know what it's like, and I'm maybe not on that scale because I'm not completely in the public eye. But Ten Hag last season, like, could not have done more for him. So this idea, this grand overall idea that you just can't speak out against it purely from like a sweeping generalization that anything there is you're attacking him from a mental health perspective is not correct. That is a massive generalization. Ten Hag gave him 3 months, took him under his wing, put him out of the spotlight, did everything that he possibly could. And Ten Hag is still not responding. No, not Ten Hag. Sancho's still not responding. Ten Hag took a different stance. As I said, it's a hunch, but I kind of get the feeling that we might find out a bit more about this over the next couple of weeks. Let's find out. But we don't know what's happened here at all, do we? We don't know Ten Hag, whether I don't think Ten Hag's had a conversation with him yet. Reports have suggested he's not had a face-to-face at this moment in time. We don't know when that face-to-face is coming. Gungshi, how you doing, dude? Gungshi trying to cheer everybody up. I'll tell you what, speaking of cheering everybody up, let me get a picture of this up because that'll cheer you up. Look who's in training with Argentina. Jeez. That's sweets, right? I'm not good. I would never in a million years say that. All right. Mental health is a serious issue. All right. Massively. Hey, look, okay. Thank you very much, Jack. I appreciate that. Thank you very much for leaving that comment. And it wasn't me attacking you, but it's just I had to use you as an example. We all have to be smart and aware that this is an open investigation. You could, if you do a tweet, you could get called up by the police because of it. If you do a massive lease, because it can all be in contempt of court, it can all be used as evidence. I'm saying just be careful and don't take the channel down with you, please. Look at the Torres just got membership done. Devil, what are you saying? What I fear by dropping Sancho and potentially Antony suspended, people think Pulisic will get time. I think he'll put Bruno on the right. We couldn't rule that out, I suppose. But surely you get Pulisic there. Bruno through the middle. Bruno through the middle. Bruno through the middle. We don't need to get Bruno on the right. He's significantly better through the middle. And we've got options on the right. And one of them is Pulisic. But look at that. That's put a smile on my face. There he is. Is the Butcher Manchester. He's fit and he's fine and he's training with Argentina. So I don't really know why he went down against Arsenal. Maybe he was like, oh, right, it doesn't. If all these players in this United team, you are definitely going to be saying that Martinez is one of the last people to just like give up in a game. He goes, never mind. That's not part of how he plays. So he must have had some sort of knock. He must have felt something. But it's good to see him training with Argentina. So that's positive. You know, I said, you can see in the title of the video, I said triple injury boost. Actually, I'm going to take it to 4 now because I forgot about 1. We've got Amrabat. He's not injured. We've got Martinez. He's training with Argentina. We've got Lindelof. He's training and he's fit with Sweden. So it should mean that we've got Martinez and Lindelof because remember, Varane's still out for a little while. And you want to know another injury boost? Which is a bit of a weird one, this. But Luke Shaw has travelled with the England squad and to do light training. I'm going to just presume that Luke Shaw asked Manchester United staff, said, look, I could do with a little bit of a change of scenery. Can I go to the England camp and I'll carry on doing the exact same program that we've got here, that we've designed for me? And Man United have trusted Luke Shaw enough that he's going to do that. I'm just, that's a presumption. Because otherwise, it's very strange that Luke Shaw is not staying at Carrington and sticking to a program that Manchester United are doing. Either way, Luke Shaw, he's got a smile on his face. He's going to be out for a good long time. I'm not saying that this is going to be Luke Shaw coming back sooner than we thought. No, we just signed the left back. That's how bad his injury is. But good. So I suppose it is a triple injury boost and then a little update on Luke Shaw. Let's leave it on that one there. And let me see what you're saying in the comments down here. Make sure I don't miss anything. Ricky, man, you legend. Ricky! People must hate being called Ricky when I just get shouts at them. Little gong for Ricky. Ricky! I used to watch his centers back in the day. I used to watch a bit of Coronation Street as well. Back when that bloke was with Gale and then drove his car off the road into the river, whatever his name was. Then that was the last time I used to watch it with my mum. Back in there. Right, what we're saying now, last couple of minutes of the show, you can let me know what you think in the comment. Any questions you want to ask me? I'm going to leave that on a nice little positive note. Little thumbs up from Martinez. Lee saying, what about Mainu? As far as we know, Mainu's injury was about 2 months. So I'm hoping that come the 1st of October, Kobbie Mainoo is a conversation. Kobbie Mainoo is back in the mix. That's what I'm hoping. Big up Bianca. What are we saying down here? Raymondo, he's saying, I was a bit disappointed that Martinez wimped off at Arsenal. That's the opposite of what he is. Everything that we have learned from Martinez, that is not who he is. So he must have felt something. I think he went down holding the same foot that he had hurt before. He must have got a twinge or something like that. Martinez is not anybody to back out of any sort of fight. He'd fight with his postman if he was late. So I don't think he's going to be doing that against Arsenal. Sam, you a fan of Derry Gold? I wish I was, but not really. Sorry, anybody who's a fan of Derry Girls. Richard, are you a Wire fan? Don't shoot me, anyone. I gave up on The Wire, and I know I've made a massive mistake here. I gave up on The Wire after season 3. I think I was at uni. I was doing too many fun things, so I haven't actually watched it completely yet. But I want to go back into it. I don't know what I'd do. Whether I would go back and watch The Wire and actually finish it properly, or whether I'd just go back and watch The Sopranos the whole way through again. Because The Sopranos still, despite the fact that I watched it at uni, what was that? 13 years ago? Still, The Sopranos is kind of easily number 1. Sopranos is right up there. Breaking Bad is up there. I wonder what else I got up there. We need to do a whole pod on this, really. Marco's saying he needs to get back on The Wire. Yeah, maybe I think I do. Diego, it's 7 a.m. in Brazil. Jeez. That's what I call a top draw fan. Andrew saying, a few people have asked about the merchandise. I love you all. Please be patient with me. I've closed the shop completely. Basically what I'm doing is I'm finding brand new suppliers, brand new everything. Back of house is all going to be completely changed. I'm working with a designer on 5 brand new designs. We're going to have designs for Højlund. Going to have a design for Casemiro. Some really, really cool designs. So yeah, because of that, I can't currently sell them. So at this moment in time, they're not being sold. Just all the ones I've got here. Right. Big up to everybody. That was a largely, it wasn't really, it was an up and down show. Just this football club right now, man. It's just chaos in one direction. A nice little rainbow over there, and then there's also a tsunami coming in that direction. It's wild. It really is. From Takeover to the Greenwood situation to Sancho to Antony to conceding 2 97th and the 101st minute goals away at Arsenal. It's not easy being a United fan. Well, look, thank you all for tuning in. Big up to all of you who gifted memberships. Ricky, Gungshi, Anthony, I think you gifted 5 as well. I'll be here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. You know I will be. I'll be here at lunchtime today. Not sure my lunchtime video is going to be on now. I was going to do it on the share drop, and maybe I still will, but I'm not sure anybody wants to read any more about that because it's just a bit infuriating. Anyway, big up to all of you, and make sure you join the Discord. It's completely and utterly free, and the link is in the description. Come and join the best community in the world. Away from just the live chats on here. There's chats in there. Big up.